Yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Look, Wrestling 101, classes in session. Pay attention to the teachings, that's from Andrew and Derek. I mean, these guys making a killing with no competition. Dynamic duo better than the Hardy Boys and the Dudley Boys. Everybody make some noise, mess with them, you get destroyed. They cannot be beat, take a seat. Watch them do they thing on the MIC. Face defeat, they cannot be seen like JC. Oh my goodness, it's a killing spree.
Hey everyone, this is Andrew from Wrestling IQ 101. When I'm not hosting our podcast, I'm usually at collarandelbowbrand.com. That's right, Collar and Elbow is the only place that combines wrestling with street attire. And I know what you're thinking, I want to look fashionable too, and I also want to save 10%. So head over to collarandelbowbrand.com and use the promo code WIQ101 and look fashionable and save some money. And now, on with the show.
This is wrestling's richest prize, the founding father of change, Mr. Darius Carter. You're listening to Wrestling IQ 101 V1 DC. You're welcome.
Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Wrestling IQ 101. I'm Andrew, and you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wrestling IQ 101. And today I'm joined by the unbreakable Rob Fury and Chad Minnis. Both guys are here, contractually here to be here. In the same room. How's it going, guys? Far apart from each other?
Good. I have to tell you two things, Andrew. Number one, I'm not too happy to be here. Correct me about this town, East Bumblefuck, New Jersey. Is that where we are?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. And secondly, the only reason me and Rob are in the same building is because of that Pro Wrestling After Dark contract we signed last year. Clause 15B, Rob Fury and Chad Minnis must market all Pro Wrestling After Dark events with mutual effort.
Wow.
So I'm not too happy to be here.
We're mutually here, though.
Yeah, well, you seem like you're in a good mood.
I broke my toe this evening, but other than that, I'm in a great mood. Great mood. Happy to be here amongst you, Andrew.
Chad's smiling that you're in pain. I mean,
of course he is.
I'm happy.
So I'm gonna be like Jerry Springer for a moment. You know, catch us up. Why are you guys feuding with each other? Why are you guys not, getting along? I mean, you signed this 10-year deal. Did you have any thoughts about that maybe you would have a falling out, so early?
True truth. Okay, I'll give you the true truth. I used to be partners with Rob Fury with SWF. And once I left, he replaced me with a Bumblebee. And I'm not too happy about that.
You mean Billy Dante?
Billy the Bumblebee, yes.
Oh my God.
Uh-huh. Guy used to be sitting in the front row of UWA, and now he replaced me.
It wasn't really replaced. Believe me, I can't touch that with
you've had your problems too with Billy Dante as well. I mean,
he's just a jerk off. If you want me to put it honestly, he's just an obnoxious fool. To be honest, Andrew.
Okay.
I mean, I've always been honest when I've been on your show, and he's just an obnoxious human being. But I didn't know we'd have a falling out. I mean, we've always had a pretty good, in the past, a great work relationship. And then,
of course.
I don't know what happened, and we came back together to do Pro Wrestling After Dark. It was great. But then, Chad just snaps every now and then I snap, and he doesn't really, he just has his personality, I have mine. But we have a 10-year deal with Pro Wrestling After Dark, so we're here together for now.
That's pretty interesting, guys. I mean, so let's talk about Pro Wrestling After Dark. The first one was in Vineland. How was it, knowing that you guys started a concept that was pretty risky? I mean, it's a rated MA show. You can't really bring the family there. It's really a different demographic than most wrestling shows go in. How do you guys feel about that? Do you feel like this is moving in the right direction? You have another show coming up very shortly.
Yeah, for me, I thought, number one, between the two of us, we're very creative, and, that's one thing where we do get along. We have unique, quirky personalities, and, I guess you could call us both, assholes in our own particular ways, and, when it comes to this brand and this product, we're really on the same page, and it's the most fun I've ever had booking out shows. Vineland is a tough market to run. And I think with what the two of us put into the show, I think the turnout was phenomenal for a launch and for a first show. More importantly, the fans' feedback on the show was just like 5 stars across the board. And we're looking forward to show 2 and 3, and I could have never imagined to be looking at show 3 already within a 1 year period.
Yeah, Rob, do you concur with that?
As much as I hate to agree with him, he's right. The concept was, I would tell the shoot truth. It started with, what do you think of Vineland? And then it just became other things like maybe Lucha Libre and Lucha. Did I say that right? Lucha Libre. Then it was, I think we both agreed on doing something with sex because we're both vile animals. Having a mature product and just something that people could get involved with, the great wrestling, and that's really what attracted me to it. And then I knew he's a marketing machine as much as sometimes he falls off of tables and he's around me and things happen at shows. He's a marketing machine, and he's very driven and creative. So creatively, I think we're on the same. If we're on the same page with anything, it's definitely that, the creativity of After Dark. I thought this first show blew the expectations out of the water. It was the most fun I've ever had, with the exception of Chad started attacking me. Other than that, it was great.
So,
Kayfabe.
When you put this show together, were you a little worried, or were the talent more worried about this being more risque when you pitched this idea for them to come in, or how does that go about? How do you just tell these guys you want to do something more non-traditional?
You know what? I think the talents love the concept because, when you're doing the same thing 52 weeks out of a year and you get pitched a fresh idea, everybody's doing the same thing in New Jersey indie wrestling. It's just the same matches, a bunch of guys in their tights wrestling around the ring with bland, boring stories and... still a lot of the good guy versus bad guy nonsense that, has been gone for years. And, we threw some wrenches in there. We had costumed characters like, penises and sharks and rats that just came out of nowhere. And people are like, what the hell is going on here? My 9-year-old son comes out through the entrance and, does these little twirly-doos into the ring and, fails miserably at putting Rob through a table and... and it's a show where just anything and everything can happen. Show number 2, I think, is going to be not as much pushing the edge because it seems like we have a little hate in the town, and this is the 3rd venue that we're trying to put the show on in 2 months, basically. And in Atlantic City in May, the balls are going to hit the wall. We're really, really going to go out. We're working on a huge main event. Something outside of what we've done so far with Pro Wrestling After Dark, and I think we've never done anything like it on Standalone or SWF, and really pushing the edge, and I think that's pretty exciting.
I think it's great. It to me, it was, you got to realize it was a concept. We just started to talk about it. And you watch it, to me, like the best part was to watch it come to life. And to be there that night on, probably, I think we had to sleep for 32 hours. So I got thrown out of a hotel room.
Wow.
Not for anything I did.
Okay.
But they get there and then all of a sudden these people are just there and they're with you and they're chanting After Dark. That was the greatest thing to me, is to see this new product that no one ever thought would even get off the ground. And other people said would never work. And now it's to be 3 shows in, who knows, maybe probably, but at the end of the year, it could be 8, 9, who knows? I think the sky's the limit. I've never had more fun doing anything.
Yeah, Vineland was a town where I've walked before with other people, other promoters and stuff like that I tried to do business with, and they absolutely said no. It's not happening. We're not doing business there. There's nothing in this town. People don't come here. There's no money here. And we actually proved that wrong. Our competitor in the Millville area is charging $10 to $15 for tickets. We were charging $20 to $25, and we outdrew them by 4 or 5 times. Wow. So it shows that number one, that is incorrect. The fact that the people won't spend and they won't come, and that you can draw. If you give the people something that they haven't seen or something that they crave.
Yeah, you took your own chances too, right? With SWF when you went up to Boonton, right?
Yeah.
It was a town that people were saying that was kind of dead for wrestling. How does that come about? How do you guys just decide, what town do you really want to go to?
Boonton, example of Boonton, New Jersey, is it was a great wrestling town until it started to get a lot of canceled shows and just bad wrestling from other places. And when we went in there, to me, it was the challenge of trying to do something with it. So for that, I really loved the area. Chad actually loved it when he came up there. We agreed on that too. He loved the area. There's a lot in the area. And but for me, I think it's the challenge of doing stuff that people say can't be done, or areas that are just dead and desolate. And wrestling will never work. And then you see those 1 or 2 or 3 wrestling fans on the internet just go, "We need something in the area." And you don't know who they know and who they know, and then it becomes just a monster. That's how I feel. I think anything's possible. And the other shows that we usually choose just basically insanity. It's mostly on the Facebook message. It just becomes an idea, and then 3 months later it happens.
Give it a shot. The same thing happened last night. I put a teaser out there for Wildwood. Wildwood has been through 4 or 5 promoters. Shows never happened. Talents weren't paid. Day of, day before. Ticket money was never returned. And I put a teaser out there last night. All I put was Trifecta, Wildwood, 2019. Within an hour, I got 5 or 6 people like, "Oh my God, you guys are coming to Wildwood. We're so excited. We need it. We're 5 minutes away. We're 10 minutes away. How can I help? What can we do?" So again, a town that has been, abused by wrestling promoters, and talent has been screwed over. Fans have been screwed over. And I think between the 3 brands that we have, we've proven that we're gonna withhold our end of the deals. And Standalone canceled the 1 show in Mays Landing, but within that week, everybody was refunded their money, and that was because the breakup I had after Atlantic City, and I wasn't ready to just jump from one show right to another show after Atlantic City Shoot Truth losing $75,000. I wasn't ready to jump into the next show. So I think our reputation really has become pretty serious.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome. The Trifecta is something different. We'll get into that in just a moment. But you want to each talk about your own brand that you each, promote. You have Standalone Wrestling, and Rob, you have SWF Wrestling. Who would want to start first, Rob?
Rob's the oldest in the business, so
That's sweet.
go ahead. You have the experience.
Very sweet.
I'm the student.
SWF was, and I say this, I've said it a million times, it was something that, I've been in the business 22 and a half years. I started at 16. I'm 40 years old now. That's like a long, I think it's about 22 and a half years, if my math is right. But SWF really was just, I think I burnt every bridge there was. And when I came back after a couple of back surgeries, I just didn't want to work for anyone else. I wanted to do something else. And it started with, I was looking at something today in the beginning. It was just a match I had with Matt McIntosh in Pompton Lakes, New Jersey. There was like 28 people in like an outside venue. And I'm like, this is just, like, how far has it come? So for me, I think the brand now is it's taken a whole new life. For years, it was never really looked at as something that could be a premier brand. And, with Chad's help and with the right people, we were able to just put the wheels in motion to do something different and be creative. Now my approach is really just quality and quantity. That's what it is. It's just you want to deliver to the people, be committed, work hard. That's really is. I think the brand now is the most diverse roster we've ever had, and I think that it's just a great. It's an organization where a lot of people have been, and then they come back and they go away. I don't know. I think it's just I'm having a good time with it.
Do you respect Chad, his work ethic for what he's been doing for SWF and what he's been doing for Standalone and the wrestling community? At least, if you don't like him now, can you respect that?
100%. Chad, us together, put together, the first one, well, me and Chad, Chad hated me when he met me at first. But after that, after he initially hated me.
Then I hated you again.
He hated me again. But
now I hate you again.
He hates me again. But a couple months later, it's like December of 2016, and we just wound up, he had broken from WrestlePro, and then we wound up doing something together, which became the first double shot week we ever did on the Jersey Shore for SWF, which was just a show that featured Vader's last appearance in Jersey, which was Bayville, New Jersey, then right into Megaslam 2017. And from that point, everything me and Chad did together was sell out shows. We had a run of shows that didn't stop. So 100%. I knew his work ethic then. It was just completely nonstop. Now he's seasoned. He's great. But he's a pain in the ass a lot of times. He does things just to annoy me, like grin at me if I'm in the ring or doing a promo or in the middle of a match. He grins at me, and then he brings his Standalone guys into the SWF ring and they busted up Magic's eye. There's a lot of things that are happening here.
Yeah,
Not to get off the subject, but there are other things that are going on. But
What's cool about the SWF brand too is even up to a couple years ago, you would see bad wrestlers exposed constantly. Attack Rob, attack the brand, and attack the talent, and fast forward to the last Mega Slam, and the people walked into the venue and they're like, "Oh my God, this is like WrestleMania. Look at this set. Look at the ring. Look at the crowd. Look at the venue that they booked here. Look at the match quality. The match quality went from a C show to an A show real quick." Just from the grind of promoting and just analyzing your booking, learning from your mistakes, what works, what doesn't work, and SWF has really come a long way.
Yeah, that Mega Slam show, not to get off topic, was definitely a highlight of my year, for sure. Chad, as standalone wrestling, what's special about that, and why should people come out and see it, and what should people look forward in the future from standalone?
So, Standalone started out with me and another partner, after, spending time in WrestlePro and time in SWF and, again, really wanting to cultivate markets that haven't been ran or have been underutilized. And that's where we started off with, Mays Landing and Tuckerton area. Mays Landing show was our debut, and it was phenomenal. Great turnout, great buzz. We went into Tuckerton. I feel that we lost a little bit of that buzz, and we took a couple steps back with the Tuckerton show for various reasons. But my focus, at that point was already with Boardwalk Beatdown and Atlantic City show, and Atlantic City is a town I love and I'm committed to, and I think that's the best thing that happened to the brand. I think the show was phenomenal. The convention itself was great. And from there, we had the breakdown, and now, it's about rebuilding, and I'm still working on that. And we're gonna have a first paid show for Standalone, where it's gonna be a show we're gonna put on for a bunch of executives and guys that wear suit and ties, and they're builders and they're tradesmen and stuff like that. And the people who have been loyal and have put in the work behind the scenes, and from flyering to marketing to building the ring, they're going to have that opportunity to perform in front of these people and try and take a traditionally non-wrestling crowd and turn them into wrestling fans, or, have them, spread the word into, friends, families, and, their contacts. And then after that, we're going to be launching our next show at Legends of the Ring, the convention. Mm-hmm. And, it's still in the concept stages. It's going to be basically, take your people who are at the convention, and they're going to face the standalone wrestling stars is, basically how we're going to break it down. So, let's say, give an example. Let's say Pentagon and... who's his partner? Pentagon and Phoenix are on the convention portion. Maybe we'll take John Cruz and Mecha Wolf, who are standalone guys, and they'll match up. So that's the thought process behind that show. And with After Dark and SWF, it's really just figuring out where the puzzle pieces fit between all brands, and then we'll see where standalone goes after that.
So guys, let's talk about the trifecta. It's kind of breaching out, right?
It's kind of what?
Breaching out, the trifecta?
Man,
Crazy.
You want to start on this?
The only way I get started is by the truth. And it was a ring rental, and I don't know where the hell it was. I don't know where. Teaneck, New Jersey.
Teaneck, yeah.
On a Friday night, and I was late, as usual. But we wound up going to a diner. And I have to say it the way it is, but I mean, it's myself and Chad and Billy the Bumblebee. We're sitting down together, having something to eat, and there's a crack hooer waitress. Just a fact.
Are you allowed to say that on Wrestling IQ?
I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
She was
Okay.
I can't say it, but you can say that.
I don't know what happened. We asked her a question about ice cream or something, and she started talking about legal documents and this weird shit that nobody knew what it was. I don't know what it was about. I don't know if we have this or something. It was just a word she used. And we just all looked at each other. When we get back to the building, there's this famous picture. I have it on my phone. Mm-hmm. And there's just me, Billy, and Chad. And that's the first thing that went out there is the trifecta that night. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about that name that night. But something that started over an ice cream sundae and a cracker became this. It's a monster. There's so much reception, and it's just it's for the betterment of pro wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
That's a great thing. I love it. I think it's really just this massive, I think, umbrella that just can take the three brands anywhere they want to go.
Yeah, I said this last night on another podcast. You know,
There's other ones.
there's other ones. This is my favorite for tonight, but you know exactly what I said in New Jersey and around the country. I think Game Changer is going to be the leader with what they're doing. You know, again, they're doing like After Dark. They're doing that unique thing where people want to see it, and you know they're on the rise, and you know I think it's their year. But I think the Trifecta is going to be the most well-operated machine, and you know we're going to get a growth and a fan base that nobody expected. And I don't think anybody's going to be able to top us this year with attendance or you know feedback, customer service. You know the service that the fans get when they come to the shows. This isn't just like this isn't like a wrestling company that where you're not counted or nobody cares. And this is like an actual corporation where how you feel and how the event is for you really matters. So I think the Trifecta is going to make a huge impression. Again, we talked about SWF, where hey, maybe we had a little bit of a damaged reputation, and everybody and anybody is asking to be on all of the brands.
Wow, that's crazy. Talking about commingling, you have the rep. They're going to be taking on Monster Mac and Magic. Those are some of the dream matches that people could eventually kind of see there. It's not going to happen right away, I think. But these are matches that people are looking forward to. Can you allude to what kind of matches we can see between SWF and Standalone?
Yeah, well, I think it's wide open. Anything could happen.
I'd love to get my hands on Chad Mines. Remember, he knocked me out at Mega Slam 2017 with that chain.
Unfortunately, I have so much money that I just let people work for me. I don't have to get my hands dirty.
He wins that one.
Well, I mean, you wouldn't want to beat up Chad, right?
No, I wouldn't want to beat him.
You guys still have to. You have still 9 more years, probably, to go, right?
I don't have to beat Chad. The thing is, like, Chad always winds up in some way, shape, or form, somehow just being attacked by someone that I'm working with that evening. Like Grim recently landed on Chad at Extreme Fallout. And it wasn't something that was planned. It was just, I hit Grim with a right hand. Next thing I know, he flew over the table, and Chad's cursing me, "You motherfucker," And I'm just smiling. I started laughing right out there. But the matches you can see, I think the possibilities are endless. I mean, you never know. I mean, there's so much great talent between both brands at this point. I think the standalone roster is Chad's rebuilding. It is what he has already and what's coming. And then SWF, I know is in my mind. So I think that the collisions, I mean, it could happen. It could happen at any moment. It could happen anywhere.
And the interesting, too, is that you guys even outsource talent from other places. Like, you bring in Tommy Dreamer, you bring in so many different talents. Then the possibilities then come in more, exciting, because you get these legends that get thrown into the mix of feuds and stuff like that. I mean, the possibilities are definitely endless for you guys, right?
Yeah, and with the trifecta, it's not like we're exclusively working with the 3 groups. We're working with companies like IWA and Modern Vintage Wrestling, and
you might have to change the name to the Akfecta or something like that.
I don't know. Well, I think the focus is always going to be with the 3 brands, but we're willing to branch out and develop good relationships. And I think I just booked a venue for November, and there's going to be a very special show there. Which we'll be able to talk about more in the future. But again, like you're saying, things are wide open for, any of the talents to commingle with each other. And that was the idea behind the Trifecta title, which Frankie Picard is a champion. So he'll wrestle on any one of the shows, and then he takes the belt, whether it's in another state or a different country. And, we're really looking at, where and when can we do good business with other people.
Are you afraid about losing that belt overseas or something like that, or do you have enough confidence in Frankie?
Frankie's his own man. He's just calling out Nick Gage, I'm not going to put the title on the line, but like I said on his post, if he dies, As long as the title comes back to me, that's all the promoter cares about.
I got to agree with him on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of cool. Then you would have a well-seasoned title or in such a young.
A deceased
Yeah.
champion.
Well,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, the title too would have so much.
Yeah.
If he's
So
got to
much-
go down, he's got to go down.
Yeah,
Well,
it's crazy.
It's gonna create more ticket sales.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah.
why you would want to challenge Nick Gage. I don't know.
I would.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. That's yeah, that's asking for trouble. So, guys, we talked about this a little bit earlier. What do you want to see now for the future for SWF, Rob?
I think it's at this point just to really just there's so many answers to that question. So I'm just gonna give you probably the 2 or 3 of them. What I really want to see with SWF, I hate when Chad looks at me. He just stares at me. What I really want to see with SWF is just people to really be even more excited to know that the product is just going to continue to grow and thrive. Looking forward to Mega Slam 2019. Looking forward to the stuff in the spring. Looking forward to things like that. New talent, developing new talent, homegrown talent. Continuing just to, I think it's when I think about SWF, I think about the trifecta. Like that's the thing. It's not just, to me, it's not just that anymore. It's just the whole thing becoming just a monster in professional wrestling that's completely different that nobody's been able to do. And when you got the right people that want the same things, it can be done. So for SWF, I think it's, I think we've proved everybody wrong, the doubters, and now it's just about, you never know. I think for Ring of Honor, go and sell the guard, and anything's possible. That's
Yeah,
why I
right.
look at it. Never say never.
Yeah, you guys have very special female fans who
John
want.
loves females.
Yeah, but this one in particular always wants to see you guys have intercourse or something like that, right?
What?
Right? That girl, what's her? She's always like posting like vulgar things on your thing.
Tatiana.
Yeah.
Tatiana. Hi, Tatiana.
What did she say?
How are you?
It took me a while. I don't know how to handle
Yeah,
that.
I'm sure she's listening right now.
Yeah, I don't know if she's joking. She seems pretty serious when
think
she brings up some of those comments,
Yeah,
right?
Look, when you have 2 bald, sexy guys like this here, I'm a little cuter, but yeah, what can you say?
I still have hair, bro.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I mean, you have to chuckle and being adored at. I mean, that must be a good feeling, right?
I mean, if it comes down to, at Pro Wrestling After Dark, there has to be a human cockfight. It could happen there. Because anything could happen. Well, I don't know. Well, maybe it could happen there. But, I mean, look. I mean, I didn't see that one about the intercourse, but I believe you.
Oh yeah, I
do
saw
believe
something.
Being a
yeah.
virgin, I'm always looking for my first girl, so
Chad is...
just inbox me.
she always
one of the... I mean, one of the things I remember recently, we were sitting at the venue of Pro Wrestling After Dark, and we were discussing... Mutually. We were discussing just... pretty Spanish women that rub their bellies when they're hungry. And that this is what, this is really the premise of our booking meetings at this point.
really.
Yeah, so, and of course, I don't know if I'd have sex with Chad on any given night or show, but we have slept in a hotel room together.
Oh,
That
that's-
did happen.
I guess that does count. I mean, I should probably be pleased to hear that.
I don't
Yeah.
know if he slept, but I was awake looking at him the whole night.
Look at that. Take that visual image in all your heads right now.
Now, there's also been the Frog Killer.
Oh, Christ.
Man, yeah, I saw you guys on the radio, and he called up and gave the story.
Oh my
I
god.
won't use names, but
Oh,
I
man.
was going through you guys' mind when you were hearing this alleged story. That
Oh, it's real. It was. I was there. The cat, I wasn't there.
Thank God.
But, this, he's just a...
Unique individual.
very unique. I don't know how else to put it. He's unique, but he's a very strong asset in marketing.
Yeah.
The man is.
John is a fun guy to be around. Sometimes annoying. I bring him around for weekends. I've brought him on vacation with me, which was a total fucking nightmare.
Got his car.
your car.
Yeah, I had my car towed in where was I? In New York City because
my God.
he didn't know how to set an alarm correctly.
He's selfish.
$400 later.
Really?
Yeah, we didn't have enough money for 2 tickets because his credit card was declined. And instead of me going in, he went in and sat in and didn't do any of the flyering and not even a thank you or, oh my God, that was so nice of you. very selfish, but
Selfish person.
learning guy. And his special move in the tryout, just so you know, was a frog splash, which was
Almighty.
terrible move, but pretty exciting that he picked that move.
I
He
can't.
did a frog
He did a
splash?
frog splash. It wasn't good.
Oh, my
It wasn't a
God.
good frog splash. It wasn't an Eddie Guerrero type of frog splash,
God.
but
That is crazy.
That's another cool thing, that the trifecta tryout camp, the
yes.
seminar, the all-day process, that,
Right?
my God.
You had
just the
Sean Donovan there,
feedback.
right?
Yeah, a lot of
yeah, we had an so thankful again. The reputation that we're building, that all these people wanted to be on our panel. Again, so many people thought of this as a money grab. Hey, the trifecta is charging people $35 just to try out, and at the end of the day, I think we're up to almost 30 people out of the group of 36, 37 people that actually have been rebooked with one of the promotions that are there. And the next time we're ramping it up. That I think we had 10 companies last time. We're looking at more like 15 this time, and I think we're going to announce tomorrow, but we'll give you the little exclusive here. Super Crazy is going to be sitting in on the panel this time.
Wow.
So we had Abyss last time. We're going to have Super Crazy.
Yeah.
So you actually have a veteran, sitting there who's been in, WWE and ECW. I don't know if he was in WCW, so...
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I thought so,
yeah.
but I don't want to be wrong because I'll be, crucified for that. But yeah,
Yeah, True Legend and Super Crazy.
yeah,
And not only that, but people who've done this in this area for so long. I mean, you use Steve Mack, Sean Donovan. You could have used any coaches you want. How did you pick these guys in particular, to come there and help teach these guys?
mutual picks. For me, John Cruz has been one of those guys.
Oh, yeah, John Cruz.
John Cruz has been one of those guys since I started dealing with him that has always been respectful. I was always looked at as a money mark, and he never one time ever took advantage. And in the car rides, he was always, feeding me with knowledge and, helping me and, just being an open book and, always available and always putting in 100%. And he's a guy who I just randomly found on YouTube when I was researching for like luchadors and stuff like that. And I just took a gamble and I messaged him and I flew him up from Florida. And, to fly up people who you don't even know and you don't know how they're going to perform, it's very risky, because there's a big cost. So we brought him into an SWF show in Bayville.
That's right.
And right away, we're like, oh my God, this guy's great. This guy's phenomenal. Between his work ethic and his attitude and his knowledge. And then he moves on to be a trainer at the 3D Academy. And he was just there last week or the week before at the WWE, the tryout camp. So, it's
Crazy how other people now are using his ability to do this.
Yeah.
You look for the same thing?
That one of the things with John Cruz, like, to talk about the evolution of that, how special it was for that guy out of nowhere to debut on that Pacific show, which is SWF No Love Lost. I remember it. Mm-hmm. And then to see it 2 years later, John Cruz at the Berkeley Little League's entrance, it just blew my mind to see that evolution. He's gotten better. There's no doubt he'll get signed. I think he's probably one of the top in the world right now. Mm-hmm.
You picked Steve Mack. Why
Steve.
was Mack on there?
Mack was. I think Mack is phenomenal when it comes to his mind.
Yeah, me
Old
too.
school guy. One of the guys that was a heartbeat of Jersey All Pro. Steve Mack was definitely. I feel has the eye for talent and the ring psychology. Pitbull Gary Wolf was just in town early and wanted to be part of it and do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think TJ was there as well for us. TJ
McCarty,
Marconi. Yeah. So and he's got some health issues now, but he's done a lot of great things in the industry. As far as where he's been and what he's where he's been, what he's done. Mm-hmm. Besides that bad hairpiece he has, other than that, he's out there, working really hard and
And a speedy recovery, too.
yeah, he's going through some
Absolutely.
stuff. He'll be back, but and that was really the pick of really just looking at who could go out there, and then I think they really have Abyss out there representing that, the whole thing, with that really just.
Yeah, you
Some-
wouldn't
some
really picture a
solidified.
guy like Abyss. You've seen him decimate tons of opponents on Impact, and the fact that maybe he would be kind enough to.
Just awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
Abyss is real life one of the most knowledgeable people, one of the friendliest, and a guy who just wants to give back constantly. That's the same reputation and impact that we experienced at SWF.
Yeah.
Every match he gave what he thought, 100%. He didn't pull any punches, and everything he said, whether it was negative or positive, he did because he cares and he wants to see each individual improve. So that was definitely a blessing for us.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, guys. And you talked about more opportunities for more camps in the future. I mean, you provided food, right? Even
we did.
So why not do this, right?
Yeah. So again, look at it. $35. You're getting 8 to 9 hours of training. You're getting fed. So just think, number one, the profit margin isn't very high because you're paying for the venue, you're paying for talent to be there. Some of these guys aren't coming in for free. They're all doing it because they love it, but there's still a cost to it, and it's a huge investment. So the next one is April 13th. That's the same day as Mega Slam. If you want to be a referee, if you want to be a ring announcer, if you want to be a manager, or if you want to be a talent, email standalonewrestling@gmail.com. A lot of interest already. We're going to cap it, definitely, so it stays nice and smooth. So the sooner we get the sign-ups in, the better. Again, that's April 13th, same day as Mega Slam. People will have the opportunity to be on the show at night as well.
And that's a cool thing, is like looking at how many, I think it was 36, was that?
36, 37, somewhere around there, yeah.
So that's
the amount,
really,
out of the amount of guys and girls that took that seminar, I would call it a seminar triad camp, but I think probably 90% of them have future bookings already and are on different shows and have the opportunity to come in, and just that is the proof in the pudding that they impressed us enough to be there and to be part of even the pre-show of Mega Slam, which was a last minute thing.
That's really on the spot learning too,
Fallout.
right?
We did that night.
So that's kind of cool to get on the spot learning the night of the training. I mean, that must be exhausting, and then you gotta just suck it up and go out there and perform. I mean, that must be the dream, like for a lot of people.
Some of those guys from the camp showed up at 6 a.m. in the morning just to wait there and to be ready and be prepared. And so those guys stayed from 6 a.m. to a bell time of 7 p.m. to an early match of 7:30, to get started. And some of those guys, after the show was over, they still stayed. They broke down because they're hungry and they want to prove themselves, not just to SWF, but to all the promoters that are there, to the fans, and that's that real old school dedication that a lot of times we see is going missing. But these people brought it.
Yeah, I got very, very impressed. And those guys are on the spot of the main event of the show. They were in the Rumble match, and same thing. That last minute thing, wound up doing a pre-show match that Chad and Billy put together really quick. We're going to do this, and it was perfect. And it was just, that's what it is. It just became, at 6:45. There's a pre-show match of 6 people that had no idea they were going to be on the show, and then it's just evolving into other things. So I'm really excited about the next one, and it's very real. That's the thing. When I broke into the business, they didn't have anything like that. You had to have a tape sent out and a VHS thing. You had a beeper. It's the truth. And they go, here's 500 posters, stick them to telephone poles, and if they liked you, they'd call you for the next round of shows. They didn't, they'd never see you again until somebody gave you a word in for you. That was pretty much it.
What was cool too is to hear the the panel who came in, and the panel walks in, and these are our peers and people who are veterans in this business, and they walked up and they see how the whole thing was set up, and they're like, oh my god, this is so professional. This is like I'm at a Ring of Honor camp or a WWE camp, and so I think the time that we all put into this too was should be counted for. It's not like, hey, we're gonna do a camp, let's just launch it and that's it. It's hours talking to people, pulling resumes, printing resumes, putting together a program. It's just not like, hey, get in the ring, let's see what you got. We got a full day schedule of, we're going to start from drills to promos to matches to, critiques, everything. So,
it sounds like a day of like high school or something like that.
Yeah.
Like you talked about curriculum and planned out. I mean, that is pretty meticulous things that you would see at any training facility, like you alluded to. Now that you guys have done one already, are there any things that you would cut out of that, or just do you want to just enhance on what you've already learned what to do?
I think everything that was in there, curriculum wise, was a keeper. What do you think?
I agree, perfect.
Yeah,
I think it's just keeping
Oh,
it,
sweet.
enhancing. You can always get
Yeah.
better. But
change up drills.
Yeah,
Throw a little,
yeah, a little
couple
bit
curves in there.
Definitely.
Nice.
There's so many styles of pro wrestling now. The luchador style,
Yeah.
the strong style, the old school style, the new school style. There's so many different things and so many different styles, and I think that's why the panel's so diverse. Where there's a little, where somebody specializes in whatever they're looking at. Like Sean Donovan will be really old school, like a Steve Mack, and Abyss kind of has his eye on everything of what's going on. So there's really, I think that's the cool thing about it.
Yeah, that's cool because like you see in WWE too, they're not just grooming one type of wrestler. Yeah, of course you have to have the WWE style, but there's like you said, there's quirks in between. People don't always come out the same or learn the same way. So that's cool that you actually put in the time and the effort to think about. There might be various of cruiserweight guys, or lack of a better word, or heavyweights or something like that, and something in between you might have across. That's pretty cool, and each one brings their own unique styles to promos. They've all done them for so many years, and Sean Donovan can just be really nasty and mean to people. TJ Marconi with the Create or Die, I mean, has such a great imagination for these different things. So that's pretty cool that you guys actually took the time and
Create or Die died.
Yeah,
yeah,
all
but
over for those guys, man.
still, this the imagination that you can put in the work and just have something creative come to life. So guys, when you talk about SWF and standalone wrestling, when you go to these events, what should fans look for from both of them, and how can people get all the event information that they want to see more events and get tickets?
I think to honestly say it, I think you'd expect the best of the best when it comes down to it. I think now it's about every show being diverse and unique and great, and the people having a great experience. I think the website bethetrifecta.com. I think you can kind of get everything you need. As far as SWF, it's just going to continue to grow and flourish, and I really look at what we're doing is serving the communities we're in.
Do you think you and Billy could ever reconnect or something like that, or is it too far gone? I mean, you did put your hands on his kid, right?
That thing, unfortunately, was the fact that he's just a terrible father.
Oh my God!
When unfortunately, Billy is a very fat, disgusting man who, didn't really teach his son how to have manners, and unfortunately, his son got in the ring, and that's the danger zone. And when I'm out there, I'm not the guy that's sitting here hanging out with you. His son put his hands on me, and unfortunately, I had to discipline him because his father wouldn't do it. And today I was reading that bumblebees are an endangered species.
Really?
So Billy Dante, first of all, needs to learn to throw a chair shot. Second of all, he needs to learn how to teach his son to not attack adults.
Mm-hmm.
But will we ever get on the same page? I don't know. We'll find out in Sayreville, New Jersey, in about 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's right.
Which hopefully has a little bit
26th.
more lit of a street than this one, where I couldn't find where I was.
See anything?
Couldn't see a damn thing. But we'll find out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, who the hell knows with him?
Mm-hmm.
He's just a very wild human being.
Yeah.
We talked about the website a little bit too. Pretty soon we'll be launching some YouTube. We're going to break down our shows. I think we're going to go back in history into the vault of SWF, and David Adams is going to break into weekly episodes, and let's talk about the past. Let's go through the old standalone shows. There we go. I forgot my own company. Jesus Christ. Let's, we have the Atlantic City show, which hasn't been released on DVD yet. We're going to break that down into weekly shows.
You picked the right guy too, because David Adams is a phenomenal host. And
He's great. He did
announcer.
that. He did those PWS weekly shows, which were all over the country. They were airing those things, and he did a phenomenal job. And I expect him to deliver the same quality that he has. And I think even David has grown, over the last couple of years. And I think he is one of the most understanding of the trifecta, and I think he could deliver it better than anybody else.
That's very interesting. And for standalone tickets, people can go on Be the Trifecta as well, right?
Yeah, so pretty much BeTheTrifecta.com is going to be your home for all three brands. We're constantly trying to reevaluate and rebuild the website, but you're going to be able to get SWF, you're going to be able to get Trifecta branded shows, which is going to be a whole other thing. Pro Wrestling After Dark and Standalone, all on one site.
And you can even find that stuff on Facebook, which you alluded to earlier that I wasn't.
I almost turned around. I was on the way here, and I saw Andrew Pace does not like the Trifecta on Facebook. And I slammed on the brakes. Shoot, truth.
I do like the Trifecta. I must have.
I saw you like it now. I double checked.
That's something.
I don't know about that Derek guy though.
Yeah, I don't know where he is. Where is Derek tonight?
He had a emergency, but hopefully he'll be better soon.
One of the cool that's one of the things that really excites me is that the fact that there are three brands, and then there's those Trifecta shows, and nobody knows what they really can be yet.
That is, the possibility, like you alluded to earlier, is endless. This sounds, a positive thing. You guys have revamped your brands. This is awesome for you guys. I mean, I'm so excited for you guys. My heart's racing for how excited I am for you guys, and
Yes.
hopefully like you guys alluded to, the future will be bright and prosperous for all three of these brands. I can't see why not when you have, both brands going at it with other brands and bringing in different stars from around the country. I mean, every wrestling fan dream. They don't even have to leave the state anymore. It's just go up and down the turnpike. And
Yeah.
You can literally have what you want. And
Yeah, we're gonna be everywhere this year. Can we do a rundown? Do we have time?
yeah, of course,
Cool. I could shoot through this really quick. February 8th, Pro Wrestling After Dark 2. Serpentico versus Mac McIntosh. Joe Gacy versus Brian Cage is, two of that matches. You can get tickets at the Vinyl and Flea Market starting this Saturday and every weekend up until the show, or BeTheTrifecta.com. Pro Wrestling After Dark 3, we're going to debut in Atlantic City, and this is the show. This is a save the date, May 17th. We're going to push the limit on the beach outside. It's going to be hot. Standalone, we have a private show February 13th. If you're in the building trades business as a subcontractor, you're more than welcome to come. June 1st, we debut and relaunch at Legends of the Ring, Monroe, New Jersey. SWF, you want to run them down, or you want me to real
You
quick?
got the list, bro.
I'll shoot them.
You got it.
SWF, January 26th, debut in Sayreville, New Jersey at the EMS Squad.
776 Washington Avenue, the Sayreville EMS Squad.
February 9th, Total in New Jersey. I'm calling out Vinny Cenzo into the ring. I call this guy El Dorito because he qualifies for the Mexican Luchador division. This guy used to be a former SWF champion, heavyweight champion, and Rob Fury should be ashamed of himself for that. This guy is a luchador. El Dorito, come meet me and Mr. Grimm in the ring.
Oh my God.
February 9th.
I'm not going to let him
The body bag is there too.
The body bag too?
The body bag's coming.
Oh my God, this is not going to end well for Vinny. I don't
Yeah.
think.
How many bites can get... What's that saying? How many bites the center of a Tootsie Roll pop?
Lips.
Yeah, something like
might be a
that. Who
Dorito in this
cares?
case, right?
I'm dumb, but how many Doritos can you fit in a body bag is a new question.
Oh, God.
All right, this is
God.
2019. Let's do a little update. February 23rd, SWF returns to Barnegat, New Jersey, which is a special charity show. Let's bring the soldiers home. Every show, we're bringing back 2-3 bodies from overseas that, the financing just isn't in place to do that. And Rob Fury and SWF, they get that done. March 9th, the return to Boonton. March 23rd, return to Bayville. April 13th is the big one, Mega Slam. This is the week after WrestleMania, and we're going to be at every single show all over WrestleMania marketing this. So we really encourage you to buy your tickets in advance. We're going to be at 11 collective shows. We're going to be at WrestleCon. We're going to be at Markdown Entertainment. We're going to be at NXT and anything you could think of. We're going to be there promoting these shows.
Everywhere.
So get your tickets in advance.
Yeah, last time I ran into somebody flying for you.
That's right.
At,
was it John?
Yeah, it was
John Marzano.
And I was able to help flyer too for you guys.
That was amazing. We always appreciate that.
So-
I forgot 2 shows too.
Oh, yeah?
Jesus,
Oh,
we
my
have so
God.
many. I think we're gonna have like 40 if that works out.
Yeah.
September 14th, we're going to do the first ever, and this is something we were talking about for maybe 5-6 years
Yeah.
before WWE even did it. The mixed tag challenge. We're going to do the first ever Kings and Queens of the Trifecta, where every Friday, myself or Rob will invite one king or one queen by video, and they have 1 week to return a video back on if they accept the challenge and the invitation and who their partner will be. And that's going to be September 14th, first ever. And then November 30th, save the date. I can't tell you what it is, but just save the date. It's going to be something huge.
Tremendous.
That's and just when we talked about the possibilities being endless, you talked about the king and queen thing. You really have upped the ante. I mean, this is crazy, guys. I mean, absolutely, this is an awesome time to be a wrestling fan, especially if you enjoy all three brands and even other ones outside of you. Where can people get you guys on social media if they want to connect with you guys?
Well, they can get me at Rob Fury or at SWF Live Pro Wrestling. And they can get you at Chad Mines,
Chad Minnis,
Chad Mines or Minutes.
whatever.
And of course, Standalone Wrestling Facebook, Pro Wrestling After Dark Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I think we got everything.
Everything.
Awesome, guys.
We're easy to find.
Absolutely, and must encourage to go check these shows out. You have more than one option throughout. Yeah, I mean, you can go as many times. They're running 40 shows, they said. So if you miss one, and you don't want to do that, but you still have an opportunity to go the other 9 times. And for me, I'm Andrew. And this has been Wrestling IQ 101. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can listen to us right here on YouTube, or you can listen to us on the B Plus Player Network. So thank you guys again, and we'll see you guys very soon.
Thank you as always, man. We love this.
Man, thank you.